Yes, he's just sad in the field. Mac ends up visiting Rose and asks for info on the sword, and she tells him that there is a library with a book all about it. He runs off, and we then cut to him in a dark forest, clearly having gone to get the sword. And he finds it, with no issue. He just finds the sword. However, he is confronted by Thrax and is about to be taken out. Until...
I knew you were going to do something crazy, so I called them.
Rose literally recruited the rest of the team to go to the sword because she knew Mac would be going there. And if the pacing hadn't already taken a turn with the speed at which Mac got there, we then cut immediately back to base, where we're reunited with Alpha 6.
Where am I?
So Alpha 6 is who Adam was retrieving from Angel Grove. However... okay, so Alpha 5 is the first Alpha we meet. We know there's an Alpha 4, but Alpha 5 is the main one, and then Alpha 5 leaves to go to Eltar, and Alpha 6 is introduced. And Alpha 6 sounds like this.
Yo, what you talking about alone?
Then at the end of Turbo, he loses his voice box, and Andros replaces it during Power Rangers in Space, so he then sounds like this.
I can speak again.
And then that Alpha stayed around for a little bit, then we see Alpha 5 in Forever Red, credited as Alpha 7, who's basically an amalgam of the Alpha 5 head and the Alpha 6 body. But they make a point to say that this is Alpha 6, the original Alpha 6 that went away. But the voice sounds different to what we heard in Space, so we could just say, yeah, the voice box changed. But what also is weird is that Alpha 6's catchphrase was yo, yo, yo. Alpha 5's was I. But then after Alpha 6 had his voice changed, his catchphrase went back to I. And this Alpha says I. But sounds different. What is going on? How many times can I say I in a video? Yeah, so I think my point is that this could have been Alpha 8, and then we could have got Alpha 9 once and always that got taken over by Robo Rita, and then we could have had Alpha X, Alpha 10, whatever. But no, this is Alpha 6. We went back a generation because I guess that Alpha is Alpha 6. I guess they're all sentient in their own way. Oh mate, I'm having a breakdown about this special, and we're not even at the point where I ask if it's overrated or any of that. I haven't answered that yet. Either way, it's great to see like one of the OG Alpha suits back again in general. It's not the first edition one, but it is the second edition, and it looks cool, and the actor in there is doing a good job. It's fun. So then back to Excelsior, Thrax tries to lift the sword, but he rejects him, and Max says that the warrior goddess, who is the statue that's holding it, has to release the sword to somebody worthy, and Thrax ain't that. So Thrax is like, don't worry, I don't even want the sword anyway. I'm gonna go back to your city, and I'm gonna destroy it all. Proper mature reaction from Lord Zed and Rita's son. And then cut back to the base with Adam, Andrew, and Alpha. What is the retention editing on this 2007 two-parter, by the way? Two-parter. So they clearly think we've got the attention spans for 2 parts, but won't stick on a scene longer than like a minute. I really don't know what's going on. Adam and Andrew Hartford send Alpha 6 into the morphing grid to try and fix it from the inside. I touched on this earlier. Obviously, the grid is depicted as like a physical sort of Hadron Collider type thing in this episode. My headcanon is that this isn't the morphing grid, but this is where their power from the grid is harnessed from. You know, like how in Beast Morphers they have Grid Battle Force and they've made Morph X? I think they're just harnessing morphing grid energy into this, which is their personal morphing grid link. We're gonna go with that. Alpha's beamed into the grid just as they get a distress call. The Retro Rangers unite to witness a kaiju attacking, and Mr. Hartford says that they can use the Flashpoint Megazord. Oh, are we gonna get Zords? Are we gonna get Zords in a crossover? What is this? Back with the Overdrive team. They try to release the sword and fail. They're about to leave until Mac remembers what Sentinel Light told him about always being a ranger. He demands they stay and try one last time. And as they do, the warrior goddess comes to life. Just creepy shit, like jump scare type of stuff. She declares them worthy and grants them the sword, breaking the stone that surrounds it and revealing